Howdy, folks. I'm Clark Garen, one of the owners of KAKZ Television Channel 4 here in Palm Springs. But before I got the privilege of owning this television station, I was a lawyer. I still am a lawyer. I've been doing that for 45 years. And as I was driving home last night, I was listening to all the coverage about the firing of Acting Attorney General Sally Yates by President Trump. And I got furious because everybody's on there saying, well, it's equivalent to the Saturday Night Massacre that those of us who are older will remember from Richard Nixon. He was being investigated by Archibald Cox. Archibald Cox discovered the tapes in his office and he wanted them. So Nixon told the Attorney General to fire him, and he refused. He told his Assistant Attorney General to fire him, and he refused. And then he told the Solicitor General Robert Boak to fire him, and he did. And that created a nightmare that ended with Nixon resigning. But Nixon was trying to hide criminal conduct. There is no criminal conduct in this executive order about immigration. There's just an attorney violating her oath of office. Now, when you are an attorney, you have the obligation to keep everything that your client tells you confidential. That means you don't tell anybody. The only exception to this is if your client tells you that he's going to commit a murder. You can disclose that, but that's about it. And in this case, Acting Attorney General Yates represents the United States of America, and President Trump is her supervisor. And her obligation is to try and enforce the laws in the executive orders. Now, if an attorney feels that he or she cannot follow the wishes of his client, the attorney's duty is to resign. Not tell why, not disclose attorney-client confidences, just resign. And if Attorney General Yates had merely tendered her resignation to President Trump, it wouldn't be news. But she decided to violate her professional oath. She decided to release a press release saying that she was refusing to carry out the order because she didn't like it. And that she wasn't allowed to do, and for that she justly got terminated. But this is not an editorial about Sally Yates. This is an editorial about the news coverage of the firing of Sally Yates. Because nobody's telling you this. They have all these distinguished professors from Harvard and Georgetown and Yale talking their heads off about this executive order and whether the president could fire, but nobody's discussing the fact that she violated one of the basics of being an attorney, keeping her communications with her client confidential. And we are in very difficult times today because we elected Donald Trump as our president. Whether you voted for him or not, we, Americans, elected him as our president. And it is our obligation to come together to make him succeed. Because if he fails, so do we. And our primary vehicle for knowing what he is doing is the news media. We need to have an honest news media. And we don't. And the proof of this is the way they are covering Sally Yates. Even all these Harvard and Yale and Georgetown law professors are not honest with you. It makes it hard. We have to dig. But if we're going to succeed as America, that's what we have to do. Dig for the truth. And the first way we dig for the truth is to recognize that our mainstream news is not telling us the truth. Thank you for watching.